Okay, episode. Let's get this right this time. Let's get this right. Episode 18. Now it took
Episode
our
19. It's episode 19.
no, I guess it's wrong. It would be 17, right? So apparently
You sure it's
people
not
actually
20?
apparently people actually listen to the show and pay attention because someone came forward. Two people, I think, came forward and said you did two 15s.
First off, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like, really? And I went back like, holy shit, he's right.
So first off, there's a lot to unpack there. Okay. Enough people watch the show to know there were 215 episodes. That alone is a statement.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it's a positive statement of folks need to get a life, or maybe we're not as horrible.
I need to get a life.
Exactly. So
the good thing is at 18 we're now legal, right? We can't drink yet, but we can vote.
Well, too late.
Yes. Whoops.
Whoops. I don't know. Would you rather drink or vote or both? I don't know. If you had to pick
drink while you vote, right?
Drink while you vote.
You need to these days.
I think a lot of people do that. They drink and they close their eyes and they vote. And then the other thing to unpack is like, who's he to tell us it's 215? Maybe it was a leap year. We just skipped an episode.
Who are you? Who are you? What right do you give? Thank you. I can't remember if it was the same person. There's someone on YouTube and then someone I think posted on like the B2B Discord. I don't know if it's the same person, but thank you very much. We need all the help we can get.
Well, and I was thinking about this on the plane back last night because I was thinking about our show, because that's what we do. And I was thinking about how, like, even listing the series like we do, like this is episode whatever, kind of entails we're in a season, and seasons usually have a start and a finish. And right now we haven't even designated a finish. We just keep going. Like every week, there's just another episode. So I think it's only one giant season until YouTube kicks us off.
Yes. So it's so we've done this segment many times, but we've never had a slide, which is what's behind the bar with Masha and Masta.
You know what? We are getting formal. We're getting formal now instead of
we started these segments, and I'm like, the one segment we have done every single week, we do not have a slide for, right?
Yeah. So what's behind your bar?
So what's behind my bar? So two things. So it's Friday. It's Friday at 6:35 p.m. for me. It's almost like, well, it is. Yeah, it's 4:30 for you, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta go double. So
Fair.
I think this is one I've had before. I just got a new keg of it though, which is the New Trail Hazy IPA, which is one of my favorites, and it's a staple around here. So I got a keg of that. And then I got a bottle sent to me by a good friend of ours, Run Pud Run.
Oh,
and
man.
Now everyone's going to say, oh my gosh, he's bribing him so he can review his courses. Well, two things here. All right, two things. One is he doesn't have any courses this week, so
he doesn't, which is strange. It's really odd. There's no courses from Run. You let me down, buddy.
Yeah, and I helped him with something in the past on a few of his courses. And that's why he'd always say, hey, I need to send you something for the help there. So that's why. Oh, and I guess I should say what it is, which is Willet, pot still.
Yep.
So
following up on the conversation about pot still versus Column Brewing that we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So cool stuff. And what's great about the bottle is when I'm done with it, I'm going to turn it into a hookah. Okay.
You should. I was thinking the same thing. You put little things on the side. That's great. Have you popped the cap on that one yet?
I mean, pop the cap, like drank it?
Yeah. Are you drinking it?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely.
So what is your assessment?
Oh,
I mean, I know you don't do as much bourbon as I do, but what's your assessment?
I don't have the palate that you do, but hey, I'm gonna drink this bottle pretty darn quick. Let me put it that way.
That's good. That's good.
No complaints whatsoever.
That's awesome. Run, thank you, my friend, for hooking my buddy Masta up. That's important.
Yes. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
And you, what you got?
I went back to my local favorite place here, the local liquor store, which carries a great selection, and I have a new one. I'm back in Colorado in a small batch bourbon by a company called Mythology.
Mythology?
Okay, Mythology.
Like Greek
yes.
mythology?
Mythology. Yeah, Mythology is a distillery. Okay, it's a little local Denver distillery, I guess. They do gin, they do bourbon, they do whiskey. Okay, they're not big. They do small batch stuff. And this is a 2-year-old bottle, columnar, nothing overly fancy. But I will say, it's hard to tell. The bourbon is the logo is there's half a face of a guy and half a face of a dog. Okay, and it says this bourbon is called Best Friend Bourbon.
Oh,
and
I should have got that for you.
Exactly. I'm
I
gonna
love
send
you,
one
man.
to you. I'm
I
gonna
love
send
you,
you one.
man.
Love you, man. Love you. And like on the back, they have this entire it's like, as the sun rests on the horizon, a proud farmer gazes with admiration at a majestic oak standing tall among the surrounding stalks of corn, a sip of bourbon as his hand brushes over the head of his best friend. Like there's a whole like liturgy on the back of this bottle about your best friend's bourbon.
Where's my dog when I need her?
I need a hug.
I need a lick in the face.
I will tell you, it's good. It's really good. It's kind of
Nice.
in the vein of a Laws type bourbon that I've done before on the show here. It is very smooth in the first drink. It does not come back and bite you up later. It's a really good bourbon. I actually am enjoying drinking it, and I just thought it was
Unlike a bad
it
dog,
was
it does not come
fun.
back to bite you later.
It does not come back. You got you got it. I was going for the joke there. Little Colorado logo on the front. So anyway, if anybody's looking for a small batch, Mythology Best Friend Bourbon is pretty darn good.
Nice. All right. Onward.
And I will keep drinking.
Yeah. So my week, so last week we had a very abbreviated show because we were so tight on time. I didn't even have time to edit. I think we recorded like late Friday, and I was gone all weekend, and I decided to get the show out, just publish it to YouTube as is.
Yep.
I have a little bit more time this weekend, so you're going to get an edited show with some sound effects, I promise, because I got some time tonight and I got time tomorrow.
I feel like we're back home. Like Friday evening.
Oh man, last week was just crazy. Yes.
Last week was so crazy. If you guys could have seen the chat between us trying to figure out when we're going to record, it was like,
and then we actually got on to record, and then we had to postpone it. And
we actually, we sat down, we started to record, then we had to postpone, and so, I feel comfortable. We're back home at our normal time, getting ready for a Saturday morning release kind of thing.
Yes.
Kraizzed will be happy. He'll get his coffee on Saturday morning.
Yes. Now, so this week, and actually last week, and the story I had for last week, I did not bring it up on the show because we had a shortened show last week.
Right.
But it actually continued. So my daughter runs track, and she's in 8th grade, which, you think, all right, 8th grade, how good, can she be? So she's actually broken records every week she's competed so far. So 4 weeks, she's broken the 400-meter dash, she's broken the hurdle record, and then she continues to break her own records, and she did it again this week. But last week at the track event, it was just 8th graders are trying to find their place in life. They don't know what interests them. They're just trying out new things. It's such an awkward time in a kid's life, 8th grade. They're growing up. The hormones are starting to kick in. The girls and the boys are getting some interest, and people are figuring out who they are.
Yep.
So there's a lot of kids who are just trying track, right?
Yep.
So this week's episode is quotes heard at a middle school track meet.
Are these like pertaining to building golf courses or just general quotes heard?
Just general, just in general, So one is, running sucks.
Was this the runner who said it?
It was someone in the 800 meter. They were running the 800 meters as they're coming by, and their parents are yelling, "Go, go, go!" They're like, "Running sucks." In that teenage, voice. Running sucks.
I'm doing this because my parents made me do it.
Yes.
My dad's like
I thought I'd go out for track. It sounded fun. No, I hate to run. Right.
I love that coming from a runner.
Is it the last lap yet? So this is someone running the mile. After the first lap, literally, they're going by. Is it the last lap yet?
After the first lap, I get it if you're like halfway through, but the first lap, it's like
Just
I
like
got
done. They were
somewhere better to
so
be.
done. A lot of these kids, they get excited. That's like their first track meet. They have no idea how
Yeah,
fast to run. They go way too fast, and it's like, oh my god, is this over yet? I went way
yeah.
too fast, right? If I wanted sand in my shoes, I would have went to the beach. This was someone who just jumped in the long jump pit and was like, what the heck, man? They got sand in my shoes. This is crap. I
Like
hate
toughen
this.
up a little bit. You're doing the long jump and you land in sand.
Yes. Yeah, and
Like
some of the long jump effort was a little lacking. Um,
it was short. Was it a short jump?
yes, it was a very short jump. Yeah, I think they put one foot down and just kept on going through. Now this was my favorite, not because of the
Why
court
is it
itself.
so far?
Why is it so far? And it was someone running the 100-meter dash.
It is
Running,
literally a 10-second race.
yes, running. Why is it so far? And then, of course, you got the parents who say, encouraging them, run like you stole
Like
something.
you stole something, yeah.
Yeah, run like
It
you stole
brings
something.
me all the encouraging parent brings me back
Yes.
when I was a kid playing soccer, and there was a time where there was the stands, and my dad was on the stands, and in front of the stands was the coach, and I was young, I was probably 7th, 6th grade, didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I'm looking at the coach who is saying, "Run this way." And behind him is my dad saying, "Run this way." And I didn't know who to listen to because it was going the opposite. So I listened to my dad because I want to get my ass beat for not listening to him when I get home. And then the coach starts yelling at me. So I love all this encouraging parent, like all the parent participation.
So you traveled this week for work for the first time in a while, right? You got
I
back
did,
yesterday.
yeah. I was down in San Diego. Got to spend some time with some of my employees, which was really overdue and great because of COVID. We're just, believe it or not, my company is just now slowly starting to ease back into travel and stuff again. And so I had a really good time getting to see some of them. By the way, I will tell you, Biomes came up. We were about 5 of us were sitting around a table having bourbon, ironically,
Hmm,
after one of our
go
customer
figure.
meetings.
Go figure.
Go figure. And yes, I was drinking I don't know which one it was. I have a picture of it. I've looked it up, but it was a small batch bourbon from local San Diego area, Carmel. And somehow I happened to bring up Biomes, and they immediately whipped out their phones and go to YouTube and start searching for it and looking at it. So we got 3 new subscribers by people that know nothing about Golf Sim, GSpro, or anything, but they loved what they saw in the 30 seconds they watched, and they all subscribed. So
So we're
I
up to
got us some more.
943 now.
943 now, exactly.
I
The best part of the trip was I got 2 rounds of golf in. Okay. Played both rounds at Aviara, and I think I'm gonna go to a golf thing here because I think it's a tale of two. I think as golfers, we want that one round where you walk away and you're like, "Holy shit, I finally put it all together." Right? Like either whether it be sim or real life.
yeah.
And I did have one of those rounds. So I went out the
Oh,
first time and I shot, was really not bad. It was not good. I shot an 89. Aviara is a really hard course. The LPGA, they play their Kia Invitational there every year. Tough course. I played from about 6,700 yards, I think it was 6,700 yards, and walked road in 89. But I had a couple of triples on par threes, put balls in the water and that kind of stuff. The rest of it was pretty good. So I walked away actually feeling pretty comfortable. Went back out 2 days later with a customer and a coworker and walked off the course 4 hours later with a 75
damn.
and was feeling pretty good about myself to say, hey, I finally put together a front to back round, end to end, no blow
Yeah.
up holes. My worst score was a bogey, my best was a birdie. And yeah, feeling pretty good right now going in, given that it's end of April.
Nice, solid, consistent play. Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I played in the league this week, and I thought I played like shit, but I got a 44, which was a
Yeah,
9-hole, which that's
yeah,
good for me. So I was like,
that's
wow,
good.
I feel like I didn't play well, but I shot a 44. That's something. So
That's good.
yeah,
That's good. Yeah. So good. All right. We got some courses that got released, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we have a show to do here. People are
We do
tired
have
of
a show
hearing
to
about what
do.
we're talking about. So it's just the new course release. We've had 6, which means that I finally have a victory under my belt because you guessed 11.
Yeah, but I have my best friend's bourbon with me, and so I'm consoling the loss by hugging my best friend bottle close.
All right. You always find the bright side of things, right?
Congrats on the win. You won this week with I think you chose what, 8?
Yes, 8.
You chose 8.
Yeah.
I chose 11. So
So
you
things are
win.
definitely slowing down. Like we are a far
Yeah.
cry from the 18 and stuff that was like
Yeah.
January and February. Things are busy, so things are slowing down. We're waiting for our Aussie friends to start kicking in here and building some courses, right?
Yep. Yep. We had no run cut run or tech bud this week
Yeah.
too.
Now the might thing is the good bet might be how long until we have a week where we don't have a Pac-Man, tech, or run pud course.
Then you're talking about 3 or 4 courses total.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that could be a while before we hit that. But we got Brandermill Country Club by the Golf Boy.
The golf boy, not
The
golf. The golf boy.
The Golf Boy. Yes.
Yep.
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 You got to say it, Monticello Country
Monticello.
Club. Yeah.
I feel like I need to have like a cocktail with a glass with a stem and my pinky finger like
Or
dangling
bourbon.
out, or bourbon.
Yep.
My best friend's bourbon.
Sheringham by
No,
Simply
would you say
Matey.
it properly? Sheringham.
No, it's Sheringham. It's the other name for Easter. Everyone's sharing ham. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. Okay.
Just say yep. Good dad. That's our dad joke for the day. Thank you very much.
That's fire. I'm giving you props on that one. That one's pretty damn good. I don't know if you like had that in your back pocket or I hope you just came up with that, but that
was
fire.
the cleanest one I could come up with. There's a lot of things I can talk about.
There's a lot of them we can come up with that weren't exactly. So I was thinking the same thing, and I'm going to give you fire score on that one. That's good.
Yeah. Tokyo Drift Golf Club. No,
I love this. This is the best one ever because kind of like Top Golf. You actually get in a car and you drift around everything. It's awesome. You don't actually swing any clubs.
Yeah, actually you do. You just hit them with your car though.
You just hit them with your car. Exactly. The back ass of the car has got to swing around and hit the ball.
And Harry L. Jones Senior Golf Club. So some guy that's into himself decided to build a golf club and name it after himself.
I am so glad they didn't let Harry L. Jones Jr. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, the senior course is way better. The junior course sucks.
Or Harry Peter, because
yeah,
that would be that'd be too much for the show.
Could be a Leslie Jones golf course.
It's just by the bundle. Oh, remember the great Benjini. Yes.
He should be the magician. Not that I'm going to take the magician away, but he should be the magician.
And Quail Hollow Golf Club. Quail being the bird that is kind of forgotten. So everyone needs a quail once in a while.
This is a shooting course. You actually shoot your quails and you eat them. Yep.
Actually, and then you put them on your custom T markers, how many you shot.
Yep. And you take the carcass as your driver cover.
But before we get off, we have 2 people who have entered the gauntlet.
Suckers!
So those of you who first time watching this show, when you enter the gauntlet, you are at the mercy of Masta and Mashi to analyze your course to its deepest depths and decide, are you worthy of the gauntlet badge, which is a birdie, an eagle, or an ace, right? Welcome to the gauntlet.
And we have, to date,
2.
We had 5. We lost 5. We lost 3.
Yes.
So.
We lost 3?
Yeah. 3 were taken down of TPC.
No.
The death of TPC. No?
Only 1 was
San
taken
Antonio?
down. Okay, maybe we should talk about that, right? San Antonio.
Bay Harbor?
Oh, Bay Harbor was taken. Bay Hill?
Was Bay Hill taken down?
I don't think
maybe that's not TPC. You're right, actually.
Yeah. So it was Bay Hill, Harbor Town,
and San Antonio. We lost 1.
We lost 1, and then we have Revelstoke, which is still up in Georgia, which is
ace, and Georgia was an ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 5
aces.
We're down to 4.
We're down to 4. Yep.
So, yeah, let's jump into it. So the first one is Turtle
Our
Point
first
Yacht
contestant.
and Country. Now, this was a course we had already talked about back around April. Actually, it was April 1st because it was the April
Yep.
Fool's show that I got you really good on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
the Killing Alabama thing where I said, there's no yacht club in Killing,
Yep.
Alabama. But
Yep.
Kraizzed came back to us. We offered up anyone that has done a previous V4 course, if you want to go through the gauntlet, let us know and we'll review it again. So we're not going to go through a deep review. We did go back and looked at it again,
Yep.
brought it up in GSpro. So if those of you that can't remember, and it was a beautiful, well done course, nature
Yep.
manufactured trees,
Yep.
forest, V4, custom T markers, and at the time we thought it, and we still do, it was a beautiful course, right?
Yep.
Very well done.
I think we only found minor things to critique on it when we reviewed it.
Yes. And then you had put this one in here as kind of a reminder of some of the detail that he put in the course.
Yep. Yep. Just really, really, really attention to detail is important when you go through the gauntlet. And we've been harping over the last few weeks on pine straw. And this is an example of really well done pine straw. If you got closer, you'd find very minute bits of 3DG sticking up to give it even a little more depth if you get closer. It was very, very well done.
Yep. And we decided, after reviewing it, to give it,
much consternation.
yep, unanimous decision was, we gave it an eagle.
No.
Absolutely
Well
amazing.
done.
Yep, really well
Great
done.
course.
Eagle
Yep.
course. So Kraizzed will send you your badge, and you can put it on your splash screen if you want, or you can change your course image or your profile picture to it, whatever you want to do. It is yours to own. Have fun.
Yep. Have fun. Congratulations, buddy. Great
Yep.
job. Really, really great job.
Yep. Quail Hollow. Quail Hollow. So this is by CE Simgolf,
Yep.
Charlotte, North Carolina. So this is a little bit different. So this one is being released this week. Is out on SGT this week. So he said, "Hey, I want to go through the gauntlet on my initial release here. Put
So
it through
we're
the
doing
paces."
both. We're doing both our Biomes review as well as a gauntlet look at the same time.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. So here we go.
So here we go. So I decided I'm going to load this guy up in the sim. All right.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I love the story. Tell the
yeah.
story.
So
It's
CE,
story
he
time.
reached
Cue up
out to
story
me
time.
earlier in the week and he said, "Hey, I'm ready for the gauntlet. Send it through. I'm ready. Do your worst." So I'm like,
Find
all right, all right.
something.
Now I didn't have a chance to load it up. So he said a day later, he said, "Hey, wait a minute. I found a couple things. I got to fix this. There's going to be a V2." I'm like, all right, I'll wait. No problem. I'll wait. So he got a V2 out there. I'm like, okay, all right. So I think it was 2 nights ago or last night that I loaded up again. I'm like, okay, headed to the range, load up the range. And I'm like, initially, I'm like, wow, this is really good. I like the mow lines here. The colors are really good.
Yep.
Sand colors good. The trees look good. Just enough amount of fog that I like. I adjusted the sky tint. I do go in, I adjust the lighting settings because let's face it, all projector setups are different. So I did that. And then I hit my first ball. And guess what
And
happened?
drum
I
roll.
saw a couple goofy blends. So this was
And the last place
on
he
the
probably spent
driving
any
range.
time. Yeah. The last place he spent any time looking for blends is the freaking range. He was like, they're not gonna look at the range.
So it was my first landing. I was like, oh man, come on. This it's all good though. That's pretty simple stuff in the grand scheme of things. But so going to the
Gorgeous
course,
course.
first tee, obviously the first thing I do is, okay, so what's up with the T markers? Really cool. All right. So the back
Yeah.
ones are a single quail. And then as you move
Yep.
forward, there's multiple quails. And I
Yep.
think I even loaded this up. So
It's
very detailed. I love it.
But like that, like for gauntlet runs, this is the level of detail we're going to go look at. We're going to go look at your team markers and say, are they different from T to T, or you just change the color? Like this is really impressive work right there.
Yep. Yeah. I also like how they're magical too. Like in a sim, like they're hovering, they're balanced completely on their own.
Yeah.
And you can do that in a sim course, and it makes it look just somewhat a little bit mysterious. Okay.
But I also like how he's listened to, I think, a lot of the guidance that you've given on this show about turning them so you can see them.
Yes. Yes.
versus them being the other way and you can't even see them. So it's great.
Yeah, like right away when you're teed up here, you know exactly what it is. It's a quail, right?
Right.
It's a quail. And
Right.
he made them big enough, okay? And
Yep.
maybe these are much bigger than they are in real life, and that's fine. They look fine. They look great. Um, and he is known for his amazing bunker work. He'll spend hours in bunkers.
Hours.
Before V4 came out, he was a big proponent of what we can do with bunkers, doing a lot of stuff in Blender. So he did an amazing job on his bunkers. Um, so two things that I really liked here. One is not only the look, but the play and the action of the ball, which is really great, is, of course I went in the bunkers. When it goes in though, it drops off that ledge and then
Yep.
immediately because of that
Instant.
momentum, it goes down deep into the bunker. It never gets hung up at the
You're
top.
not sitting on that side lie. You're
Mm-mm.
not sitting. You're stuck in the bottom there. I agree. I think he dug the bunkers out perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a little bit of critique feedback since this is also a gauntlet run. Normally I'd be like, agree wholeheartedly. This is great. My only critique, and this is more personal preference, not really critique, more personal preference. I love, and you and I talked about this before the show. I love the wet look. I really, really do. I just don't love it in every single bunker. Like I feel like, for me, it's the morning. I'm teeing off. The sprinklers have been going, and so this bunker is a little wet. As
Yep.
I get to the back nine, those sprinklers have been off. It's getting warmer out. Those bunkers have dried out. So just a suggestion. It isn't a critique, really. Just suggestion is maybe do that in some of the front ones, and the back ones take out the wet paint, the wet look in the back of them, just from a aesthetics look. But that's all.
Yep. I think this is amazing though. Like I really
Yeah, I
like.
do too.
Yep, it is
I do too.
well
Really,
done.
really great work.
You
So
found this one.
I
This is
took
good. This is
I
good.
took this one, and again, this is going back to our own personal. We've been talking about this for weeks now of not having flat pine straw, and here's an up close and personal view. There's pine cones, there's sticks, there's a little bit of 3DG to give it some depth. I think this is great. Maybe even a little more the odd weed or grass sticking through. I did find one thing though. I thought this is the first time I've ever seen this, ever, actually. Um, the sticks apparently have wind colliders on. So I had the wind up pretty, I always put the wind up pretty high because I want to see which trees are impacted or not impacted by yeah, they're going like this and everything like that. Well, guess what? The sticks were moving like snakes. They were moving like this. Like
It's
literally
now called
my
Snake Hollow. It's the new name, Snake
my
Hollow.
my first thought was, "Holy shit, that's cool as hell. He put snakes in his pine straw." Then I realized it was actually, and it was so subtle. I bet if you actually put the wind on like, normal calm, it wouldn't even see it. But
Yeah.
just so you know, I think there's a wind collider on your sticks in there. And when you put it on gusty, it looks like snakes are
Yeah.
moving
So
around in there.
that's actually a trick tip for designers out there. When you're testing your course, put your course on gusty, the highest wind, and
Gusty.
then you're going to pick out the trees right away that aren't enabled for wind correctly, right?
Yep.
Or things
Yep.
that have wind that shouldn't, right?
Oh, but it was great. It looked great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Nice find. Nice find. So
You and I talked about, yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, so I like when I first turned this on, so I do like occasionally I do like the curbs because the curbs tend to give like the pavement a little bit of depth, like 3D
Yep.
depth to it instead of like the pancake flat look which you normally get. But
Yep.
he had curbs everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I think some places it looked really good and some places it looked unnatural. And I think you captured this one, which is, hey, when it's
Yep.
going across the middle of a fairway, like crossing over, like where you're hitting your ball over, I'd remove those curbs, right? And you talked about the
Yeah, I had two thoughts on cart paths, and I don't. One of them is relevant, I think, to this course. Maybe both are, and one point may not be. But one is, I agree. I personally hate curbs on cart paths because after I did my first course, I've really paid a lot of attention when I play golf. Where are curbs?
yeah,
Curbs are almost only either at the green in a very small section where you park the cart, or
yep.
at the tee box in a small section you park the
Where
cart.
they're trying to
Everywhere
keep
else,
you on
on
cart.
the cart path.
Yeah.
All the rest of the cart paths have no curbs on it. So we got to figure out maybe a better way of doing depth than just using curbs. I agree. And so that was, yeah, I would love to figure out an easier way of just having curbs around. So
Yeah.
this goes back to the magician. How do we figure out easy way of having curbs only near tee boxes and greens as opposed to having them the length of the entire thing?
I've
Anyway,
played with it several times in Blender trying to extrude, and
yep.
it never works out.
I've gone into
And
the
I'll try
curb
again.
and actually like deleted the segments
Yeah.
and done it that way as well. But and then the other thing too I noticed was like that one, if you go back to the curb, it's just a really hard black line on the edge of the curb. And
Well, you
like it
don't
just
see it as much. I think there's a screenshot later on where it's
oh got it.
depends, I
Okay.
think, on the angle.
The
And that's why I
angle.
thought it looked good from certain positions. Like, oh, the curbs look good, it gives you good depth. But then other angles, I was like, oh man,
Yep.
now it's not looking good.
Yep.
Dependent, and it might depend on the advanced lighting too. It might be something to play with.
Agreed. And apparently I suck at advanced lighting after today's Discord chat. So there we go.
I found some triangles in the grass,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Nothing major. Matter of fact, if you zoom out, you don't see this. My ball happened to
Yeah,
land here, so I saw
yeah,
it. So
yeah. So these were something that kind of like he showed a picture of these, and I was like, oh, these are fantastic, and
I love them
yeah,
personally.
I do. I think it's a nice detailed touch. I think it's also something that people can use to cover up breaks
Yep.
and cart
Yep.
paths. I think
Yep.
it's ingenious.
Yep. I love it.
Um, I found this one though that to me was distracting. It didn't look. I feel like there should be a speed bump there. Now, you
Fair.
you think it's and I could tell what he's trying to do. There was a gap there. He was trying to
Yep.
cover it up. I personally probably would have just put a cart path here or a cart over the top of it. But this is just the screenshot I was talking about earlier, where now the curbs look really dark.
Right. Right.
They
Right.
look
Right.
much different here, right?
Yep.
But this hump here, I would say, that's ingenious, well done from that perspective. Yeah, good stuff.
Love it. I did take this for two reasons. One is I love what he did with his 3DG in the background there. I think, from what I could tell from looking in GSpro, there are two different meshes with two different 3DGs on it. The upper mesh, no, go up higher on the
This is the
hill.
upper
There
one.
you go. That is one level of 3DG with a certain level height on it and a certain thickness. And then that edge one is another with a different, and it gives you this really great, like, oh, I love the depth of that. You can tell the fall off into the water, and
Yeah.
I'm here because my ball went here, so this is like real. But then at the same time, there's a break. I did notice, by the way, buddy, a break in the plane. You see the water plane, the upper water plane and the lower water plane have a break in between them. So just need to get those two to line up. That was only because I happened to actually put my ball over there. So that's how I saw it. I saw it from my ball was in the grass on the left, and I could see the break in the water plane. Then I flew over to here to get a better angle so you can see it.
So you and I both, there was a section of the course that had these houses in
Oh,
it that just was really well done.
please make them available for us to use. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I
So
think
good.
he had asked me at one point for some houses. I gave him the ones I had at Kapalua. I don't think he must have found some other ones someplace else, or maybe he built them. I
Or he
know
made them, or he
yeah,
built them.
he's getting hot in Blender.
I don't
Um,
know. Great.
this was a like a water creek that was running through. The creek is amazing. Some vertex painting that he did in here.
Vertex
My
painting.
only
Yep.
thing was maybe just plant some heavier grass along here, because rarely do I see a creek like this running through that doesn't have some really stuff sticking out throughout it.
Yep.
Um,
But it looked good. The
it
bridges are
looked really good. And
fantastic.
this was my same shot of those houses. This is that neighborhood, which is just the detail here is
Really good.
amazing. And then you can see the
Really
curbs
good.
here do stick out a little bit. There's the black lines.
Yep.
Bunkers look really good. The wet look.
Yep. Yep.
Where did that come from? All
Clubhouse.
this.
When you were
Oh,
pasting Clubhouse
oh
vid,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, I saw those.
Clubhouse. So this is from the 18th, but
Yep.
I really wanted to capture, the clubhouse. So I went up in the air because he had sent me pictures of this, and I think he only
So
had like
good.
40K triangles on this, so he did a really good job on optimizing this. Just great job. I mean, you don't understand how much work it takes to get these lines lined up correctly on here the
He's not
textures.
one of the, but CE Sim is not. He's not one of the known blender guys like Justin and
Not for not for houses per se, but he's known for like doing all the blender
in
work for
bunkers
bunkers
and
and
yeah.
yeah,
But like, if
definitely.
did he build these?
Oh, he did this house. He did this
Yeah, so
clubhouse. Yeah.
he is now. Then I think he's the next up and coming blender guy. Like, he's so
Yes.
good. This
Yes.
is really
I kind
really
of
good
see
work.
him as like very similar to myself in that he likes to do a lot of things he likes to be very self-sufficient, right?
Yeah.
I like to play around with Blender, various things. I'm a master of nothing, right? I'm not the best guy at anything, but I know how to do everything, right?
Yep. All
Um,
right.
oh, whoop, we spoiled that one, didn't we?
There we go.
Eagle!
Congratulations.
Congratulations on an eagle. Yep.
Really, really good work. I thought the course was fantastic. It played great. It looked great. Everything that we pointed out was minor and cosmetic, and if that, right? So, congratulations, man. That was
Yep.
really, really good. Now we have what, 5 eagles?
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
And I'll spoil it. I am building a website that people can
Yep.
go to see all these awards. So hopefully
Yep.
by the next show we'll have something we can show you guys.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yep. So before we get into the other builds,
Ooh,
our
we need
GSpro
comment of the week music. Steve, cue up some comment of the week music. We got a
some
good
comedy
one.
music.
This is a
You
great Benny Hill.
you sent me this one and I saw it and then you sent me and like a
I
lot of
did.
times I see stuff and it doesn't seem that I should register to send this on the show, but you sent
Oh,
it was
it
like, oh yes.
registers. No. You see it and you're like, "What the hell are you? Is this guy?" And you see it and you roll your eyes. I know you. You see it, you roll your eyes. You're usually like, "What the f?" And then you move on. And I'm like, "No, this is show material."
All right, here it is. If you've seen this, which is this guy who I'm pretty sure
V5.
isn't a designer asked, how much better are the V4 tools than V3? And when do you think the V3 tools will be
Hey,
released?
John and Sting and DP, will you guys
Get
get your
on it.
ass to get V5 already? Would you stop screwing around and get V5 tools out already?
What you got going on? And what do we want in? Let's start making a list of what we're going to put in V5.
Yeah, I want a whole list of what you want to see in V5 because you guys are slacking.
Did you see? I think John replied to this and said something like, "Whoa," like put the brakes on. Whoa, V4 tools technically aren't even out yet.
First off, before John replied, he went out and shot a cow. Okay? He came in,
Massacred.
he drank a bottle of bourbon, and then John went to Facebook and went, "Whoa." Like, he got all of that anger and rage out of his body when he saw the. I would be livid if I was John and Sting and DP, and I had some random guy on Facebook going, "Hey, V4, that V4 thing is kind of like, meh, meh." I mean, shit, I could have done
V5 is where
V4
it's
by
at,
now.
though, right?
But V5 is where it's at, man. Let's get this V5 shit going. What do you want to see, gang? As a community, we know better what
and
we need to see.
and you wonder why John and those three when they invite us to view things, why they say, "Don't tell anybody about this, please."
Don't tell anybody. So I am going to take this opportunity, and you, my friend, will join me. Let's raise our glass. I'm going to do a
Oh,
toast to the 3 V4 designers, the magician, the architect, and
the shrink.
the shrink for amazing work on V4, and
Yes.
don't even think about V5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tomorrow you can think about V5.
Tomorrow. Yeah, I think those guys are
I know.
done.
I'm kidding. I'm
Done. They're
kidding.
gonna retire before V5.
After this post, I'm not surprised they just didn't throw their hands up and say, "I'm out. I'm done.
Done. I'm
I'm
out.
done.
I'm
I'm
done.
out." Wipe my hands.
All right. Well, then on to Harry Peter. I
All
mean
right, let's
Jones.
bang through these
Harry
courses.
L. Jones Sr.
Yep. Hi, Harry.
Hey, Harry. Bye
Who the
easy,
hell is
great
Harry
man,
L.
GD.
Jones? Do we know who Harry L. Jones is? I'm gonna
Let's
Google
see.
them
What
real
does
quick.
this
Hold
say?
on.
This Michael. Well, it's not the designer because the designer is Michael Herzen. Um, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. Harry L. You're
I'm
gonna
searching it
Google
right
Harry
now.
L. Jones. You're gonna get like 800 returns because there's probably a million of them.
Oh no, I'm gonna put it in Chat GPT and say who is Harry. Let's go. You start reviewing. I know they're my
Okay.
screenshots. Whatever. You just talk,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go
All
to
right.
Chat
You
GPT
go to
and look up
Chat
who Harry L. Jones.
GPT and find out who Harry L. Jones was. You say who?
Senior,
Senior,
not junior.
and maybe even put something about golf in there too.
Yep.
So when I first
Yep.
turned this on, I was amazed at, first of all, the color here it's different but familiar. Okay, I do like it. I think it looks natural. And actually, you had a screenshot in here initially, and I don't think it did. Something happened with your screenshot. The road didn't look right, so I changed it to the. Bottom line is, this was like when I turned this on, I was like, wow, this is a really good looking course. And I think he went a little edgy with the textures here to make it look a little bit rough. I also like first of all, like tee placement here is good because they're spaced out. Mow lines were really good. And I think my
Yep.
next screen here, yes, I zoomed
Yep.
out and
Yep.
his sat shader on here. And I think he used my sat shader methodology, which is how you do the contours and everything. This is awesome.
It's
His
great.
sat shader was really good.
The depth. Look at the depth by those
And this
bunkers on
is a
the left.
V3 course, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like his sat
There's
shader
no
was
slope shader
really
on
well
this.
done. Nope.
So for him to
No
get
slope
like
shader.
the areas on the outside of these bunkers here, this depth,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yep. Well done.
Very impressed. Well done. Um, so this was you captured
I
this
took
one,
this.
and we both
Yep.
agree here. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say, I thought, like, listen, there's a lot of times that you have a course that you have power lines on, and they are a feature of the course. And you can see my ball there. I was playing through this course. I thought it was wonderfully done. You captured them, you ran your wires. I actually flew all the way up to see if you lined the wires up, and you did. It was really, and I've done though. It is no easy task to do that. I've done that
Yeah.
on about 2 or 3 courses now. And I thought I love how you embraced the features of the course and didn't. You could have easily left them out, and you needed to leave them in. It was great.
I feel like this is one of those holes. If you didn't put those in, someone who knows the course would be like, "There's something missing here."
Yeah.
Right.
Now my
So.
question is, did you put colliders in the wires? If you didn't, go back. But I put colliders in my wires just in
Did
case
you
somebody
really?
wanted to try. Yeah, I did. I put
Wow.
colliders in the wires just in case someone wanted to hit it. I put timber colliders on. Um, I took this one. I thought it was a really great view going down to the hole.
Pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah, one small suggestion. Listen, I love when there's a rock formation coming out of the middle of the fairway. Arrowhead has a bunch of those. I've done. My only suggestion was add some grass on top of that. I know you've got a grass texture, but I would add some 3D grass on top of that, or not necessarily 3DG, but some grasses,
Yeah.
because it's never that flat.
Or just
It always has
VS Pro, just tap 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 in
tap
a
tap
couple
tap
spots
tap.
around here. Yep.
Just tap it in.
Tappy tap
Just
tap
tap it
tap
in.
tap tap. I think
Come
I'm
on,
just seeing this
Chubbs.
now. This bunker over here looks amazing too. I mean, I think he probably had to dig this out, but that's not easy to do because
Yep.
with Blender wants to flatten things out, that sharp edge. So that looks really cool over there.
Well,
That
when we were
bunker.
talking in pre-show, I thought the color he chose for the bunkers was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
I did grab this. Only I struggled on whether or not even to put this in here. In all fairness, like it's a V3 course. I think it's much easier with V4 with blends to make this look a little bit better. You don't see this from afar, okay? As you
yep.
get closer, when the 3DG pops in, I just felt like it was a dark ring around each bunker. And it kind of distracted a little bit. I don't know how you would do it differently, in all fairness. And so that's why I hesitate to even
Yeah.
put this in. But
I'd like to
if you
see a
do,
picture of the real life course too to see what
yeah.
it's like. But I
And
agree.
you made this point, which I agree with. I like that you made it deep rough, plays like it's supposed to be. So
You know what I like about that is that my ball won't roll into the bunker. It has to go straight in, right?
no, you want the bunker shot. The bunker shot's way easier than the deep rough shot.
On sim, right? Not in real life or in real life. Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the lie. I took this just to show for everybody watching because we got everybody from very experienced designers to
New
first
guys.
time designers. Um, this clubhouse is not on. It's not directly seen from either 9 or 18 or anything like that. I mean, you have to really go hunt for it. Yeah, he put the clubhouse in, and it's perfectly good. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be overly elaborate, and it's great. And you can see, I think on 18, it's off to the left a little bit, so you can kind of see it off the hill and through the tree. So it's there. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree.
Right,
Then Brandermill by
Brandermill,
the Golf Boy, right?
the golf boy.
Uh,
Yeah.
Gary Player course in Midlothian, Virginia, which is an area that I actually lived in quite some time ago.
Now let's be fair though. Hold on. Hold on. You're the nice one. I'm the mean one. So hold
Okay.
on. Back
All
up
right. All right. All right.
in this episode.
All right. All right.
Golf Boy, you got lucky, my friend, because
Uh-oh.
you did an update to this course before
Oh,
we recorded the
yeah,
show. Okay.
yeah.
You launched this course, my friend, with a whole bunch of oopses. I'm not going to list them. You know them. And so, just so you know, we are reviewing your V2 of this course without with some of that stuff fixed.
And you
Okay.
should thank
So
Mashy because he let me know there was an update. So I
I
went back
did.
and
The
cleaned up
original
some of
set
my
of
stuff.
the original set of screenshots was on your V1 version of this course.
We literally
So
took some out like in pre-show.
yes,
We literally
yes,
said, "Oh, he fixed that. He fixed that." Yep.
yes. So
Yeah.
just so you know, we're doing your V2.
Yeah. So I would say if he is listening and God, if his dad has watched the show, he doesn't let Golf Boy watch the show.
I hope not either. I wouldn't let my son watch the
And
show.
actually this is for him or anybody else is, and I think I've said this before, is go to your deepest tees and it literally takes, I timed it actually earlier today. It took me 90 seconds to go through 9 holes and just do a quick look of
Yep.
what's going on. And that's what I do. Honestly, when I reviewed a lot of these courses, I load them in practice mode. Bang, I'm just going through the tee boxes to see if I see anything wacky.
Yep.
And I did on a lot of on a lot of the stuff that he had here. And I just feel like if he would do that, or anybody else, new designers included, would just go back through and load up the long tees and look. So here's hole number 1. And when I loaded this up, I immediately saw 2 things, which was the tees don't line up. And it's a little distracting when I look at the tees on the next spot forward here. These guys, they just
Yep.
don't line up. And
Yep.
they're a little crowded. And I did find
Yep.
on multiple holes that he was trying to cram the tees. I don't know if he was trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tee lengths on a course that really only had 3 tee boxes. So you got to be careful about that.
I think there's 92 T's. It
You're
feels like
right.
there's 92 T's.
Yeah.
Let me do me one favor, and we didn't do this in pre-show, but I'm going to go back and do this real quick on the fly. Will you go back since you're controlling one slide? I want to look at the yardages on this course. 63,
Yeah,
61,
look how close they are.
59,
You don't need that
57,
many.
55. You don't need that many. I would actually, you're literally 150 yards in
You
between.
could get rid of the blues
Yeah,
and you could get rid of the
get rid of
greens.
the greens. You don't need that many. Matter of fact, what I tend to do is I do the holes first. So I will do if there's a black, a green, a white, whatever, you know what I mean, the holes. Then I will look and see do I have a yardage gap, and I'll do the combo that is the most commonly used combo to
Yeah.
fill in that gap. So if I have a black that's 72 and a blue or a white, excuse me, a black that's 72 and a white that's 66, then I'll put a combo blue that's in between those two. So just some
Okay,
suggestions
I
for
take
you
a
to
different
minimize.
approach. I look at the tee boxes on the course and figure out are they big enough that I can do 2 tees on that box or not. And then
Well, the reason I don't do that is I think about who is playing. So I think about I want to make sure I've got a long tee for the Pro Tour and the Tips guys,
yep,
and then I want to have a medium tee for the PGA. You know what I mean? So I think about the tours
Yeah.
and the distances on the tours, and then you're right. Then I do go back and say, can I fit these on the tee boxes I have?
Yeah. And then what I'll do is if I want to get an extra set in there, then I will go back and I'll make the tee boxes bigger than they are
Bigger.
in real life.
I've actually added in a tee box, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've done that
Yeah,
too,
I've
for
added in
sure.
a back tee box to go further back to make sure I can
Yeah.
get. Yeah,
So I guess my advice to him was if he wants all these tees, he needs to add another tee box. Really.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
here's
Anyway,
here was a good example, which is he
it's like
slammed
a
all
land.
these
It's
in
like a
here.
lane.
At a minimum, either add another there's a it looks like there's a whole other tee box over here he's not even using,
Yeah,
right? So put the blues like over here, put the whites here, the greens here, and move this yellow up to this other tee
up to that
box.
one. Here's
Yeah.
the problem. Rusty Dave saw this and tried to land his plane. He was good.
Okay, I got you. All right, I'm gonna pour another drink on that one. Thank you very. That was give me. I'm out of ice. I'm drink. Okay.
I'm out of ice too, and I'm connected by a cord to my headset, so I can't get more
I can
ice. And
go.
now I'm just
I
drinking.
might abandon you here. You're gonna have to fill in one because I'm advancing the slides here.
I
Okay.
might do the same to you.
Oh,
Anyway, all right.
I love our Friday night shows. These are
I
fun.
do too. They're way more fun than doing Saturday mornings
Oh
or drinking
God, yeah.
coffee.
I'm all hopped up on coffee. All right, so you captured this one. So guess what? I'm gonna go get some ice. Go
Go get
ahead.
ice. So for me, listen, I actually think the V2 version of the course was much better. You did a really nice job fixing some of the issues. I think your colors in the course were pretty good on generally all across the board. For me, it was trees, 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 and trees. There were lots of issues that I found with trees and shadows. First off, I would actually in advanced lighting lighten those shadows up. You should be able to see through them. They shouldn't be that black and dark. It'll give you a little better depth perception than just having those dark ones. And then obviously, tree in front right here is almost blue. So I don't know if that's because the shadow is so dark or if that's because it is a blue tree or the specular's too. I don't know. That tree needs to be toned down. The tree on the left there
The red
is
one or the
just
white one?
the red one
Okay.
is just short of glowing. I don't know why
Rusty.
the
It's rusty. It's a metal tree.
it's rusty. It's Rusty Dave. Um, sorry, Rusty.
He's a victim tonight.
He's a victim tonight. Sorry, Dave.
Love you,
We
Dave.
love you, buddy. And so that one needs to be toned down a little bit. And then there's the white one in the back that is just too white. So I pay attention to the trunks, please. The trunks are as important as the leaves. The shadows are
Yes.
as important as the trunks. And I think if you just tweak those, you would get a much, much better effect right in your rough areas
This
off
looks like
the.
the enchanted forest to me. Like
It
something magical
does.
going on here, right?
Sheringham. Maybe we should talk in an
Yeah.
English accent. Please play your course from the back tees. I
Yeah,
don't
what I
care if
said
you're.
earlier. If you had just
Yeah,
cycled through, you would have seen this tree right in the middle, which
yeah.
has grass growing on it somehow.
I like that though. It's moss. It's a mossy tree.
It's mossy.
It's
Mossy.
got disease.
Um,
And then you want to talk this? You want me to?
I think it's the same thing. We saw like just too dense, right? Just a lot of trees here.
And it's the same tree.
And
Like I see the same tree. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these white trees in this one small screenshot. So
yeah, you don't need this
vary
many.
every trees.
And his
Um,
performance was it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah, and
you were pushing in the 30s and
yeah,
40s
you saw a
and
lot of dense trees, and I was looking down, and I was like, "What is going on with performance?" Because I didn't see a
yeah,
lot of vegetation, but it was just so many trees.
yeah.
Yeah,
So and then the next one I think is one more on trees. You can tell on this. I've got two things on this one. One is this tree turn the specular down. You can see those blue edges. You need to go into the prefab,
it's possessed.
go
It's a
into the
ghostly
WODs.
tree.
Turn your specular and your smoothness all the way to zero.
Ooh.
It's a V4 thing.
Yes.
Also, by the way, my friend Golf Boy, that particular tree has no collider.
Oh,
So I intentionally shot like a 99,000 on this course. I was hitting the ball everywhere to see, and I hit it really deep into these trees. And I was very surprised to see, like, wow, I cleared most all. That tree is missing a collider. All of those trees that are those red, tall, skinny trees are
Not to
missing
mention,
colliders.
there's 5 trees here and probably a 5-meter radius.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Lots of trees.
Yep.
Yeah. So
There's your
after I
performance.
saw that, yeah, and after I saw that performance, I just ran it through, and it wasn't bad, but we want these numbers to be above 90 per se, and
Yep.
there was definitely a couple holes where it struggled. My GPU was
Yep.
working plenty hard.
So listen, I want to sum. Overall, not a bad job. Okay, you've
Yeah.
really thank you for submitting the V2 update. Look forward to V3 update.
And
Most of the
thank
stuff
you
that
for
we're
putting
referring
in
to.
an SGT for other people to play. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. And most of the stuff we're talking about is actually off the course. Your tee to green, pretty good. Your blends were pretty good. Your all that stuff was really good. Your
Yeah.
colors were pretty good. So,
He had
nice
that one
job.
blend that actually found in V1 he fixed in V3.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So good.
then Monticello,
Pac-Man.
Minnesota.
Okay,
Minnesota.
can you talk Monticello while I get ice?
Oh yeah, I can do
Okay,
that.
I'll be right back.
Yes. So originally I wasn't gonna review this course because Pac-Man had 2 out this week, and I think he has another course which I think was a step up from this one. Now, I will say that the the guys who are doing this for a living, Pac-Man included, I'm always nervous about reviewing their courses because I don't want to say anything disparaging because people paid for this, right? Um, but Pac-Man, he does so many good things, and I think what he was doing in this course was giving something that delivered. And he had probably some restrictions on what they paid for and what he was going to deliver. So the reason I wanted to do this course, which is since we just did the Golf Boys course and we talked about his bark and how the trees were the wrong,
Mhm.
not wrong color, but they were too bright. Here's where example is where they look really good, right? And if you ever go out on a golf course and pay attention to this stuff, the trunks of a tree never see sun. Okay, a big tree, you think about it, the trunk of that tree never sees sun. So in a case like this, that they should be dark. Okay, and that's what you see here. Like the tree over here to the right, it's almost black, and it's not quite. You can just barely see the bark, and that's kind of like what I think, and that's why a birch tree is so you're familiar with it. It shouldn't be blazing white though. It should just be like a lighter color, like a gray. So he has in here, but these are done really well.
Yep.
Like I
Agreed.
say, when I grow up, I want to be able to plant vegetation like Pac-Man does. All right.
Oh, I wish
Right.
Pac-Man, teach me how you I plant my vegetation. It looks like my flowers like this, and it never looks
And
this
I,
good.
or if I
So
do go crazy and then my performance drops to hell, and
yeah.
this one was off the charts performance wise. He could have done so much more on this.
Yep.
I think he was, and I say this with a great compliment, which is he could have done a lot more, but I think he was doing what he was paid to do.
I
Okay.
agree. I
So that,
think he delivered. And listen, if this is the quality you get from him for this level build, then it's fantastic.
yes. So like obviously, and the reason I know that is because as soon as I see GSpro T markers, I know that someone didn't pay for the customizations on a real
Yep.
course. That's the big thing. And so then I know as soon as I see that, then this is probably more of a basic build. Um, and every time I open up a Pac-Man course, he has different grasses. I get stuck in this rut where I know my familiar grasses and I use the same ones over and over again, and he doesn't. So this is a new blend that he came up with. I've never seen him use before, which is fantastic. And then he does this. So this is off of a tee shot where the grasses are center and forward. So what does he do? He just throws in like a different bush in here, which I've never seen before. I don't know where he finds this
I
stuff.
don't
It's
even know where he
brilliant.
has it. Yeah.
But
No.
like that, this bluish bush that he has in here, he just has such a great eye for, hey, I'm going to stick about 8 of these in here and
Yep.
completely change the look of this little meadow area.
Yep.
So well done.
Well done.
You
So
found this, which
biome.
is just a couple of, I think, billboard issues, right?
Yeah,
Minor.
yeah, yeah. The white tree and the dark green tree were billboarding. You could fix that in no time. That was just I did notice some billboard
Yeah.
issues in that those two trees
Yeah.
specifically.
The funny thing is, like, I found the same issue. Well, we'll talk. Let's go.
Yep.
Move forward. So this is another one you found this like swampy area, which is really cool.
Yeah, just like I love this. I think the mix of the water with the grasses with the power line in the back. I think I would have loved to have seen power lines like we were just talking about in the
That
previous
costs
course.
extra though.
It does cost
Because
extra,
those are
but
not easy, as you
they're
know.
not easy. They're
By the way, if
hard.
I see a course I want to do it as power lines, I'm out.
Yeah, well, power.
Tech
Listen,
doesn't do cart pass. I don't do power lines, right?
it is a pain in the ass to line the power line up to the receiver and to the insulator. It is not easy, but I would love to have seen power lines. I thought it was great. I thought it just looked just really good.
The Drift, another one by Pac-Man.
Yep.
Tokyo
Yep,
Drift.
he's back to back. Tokyo Drift.
So he had the faded dirt cart pass in here, and he did his signature short 3DG grass to kind of give things a gravelly look on a lot of the
Gravelly
parts in this
look. Yep.
course.
Yep.
This to me, just like the power lines in earlier when we talked about Sheringham,
Yep.
he had these I think these are like railroad tides, like wooden tides, and to me, this is a signature part of the course that you just had to have in here in order to give this the look that it needs because they're everywhere. They're everywhere in the course. It's
Yep.
one of those things that once you get in here and you see those, you're like, oh, I know where I am, right? So if you played the course, you have to have them.
Right.
And
The
what was really
old
cool
fence.
is, yeah, the fence had the same look and feel as those steps. So I don't know if he used, I don't think it's the same texture, but it looks pretty
Kinda
darn close.
Cook's pretty darn close, yeah.
Yeah, it gives it the same. It gives to me like this is an old course that's been around for a long time.
Yep.
Now it's funny because I found one tree also that
One
was not
tree.
billboard. So the arrow here, this is the tree. This is this is the tree when it's billboarded. So there was a big difference. I only noticed it on the flyover that there was one tree that was just kind of popping on the way down the fairway.
Yep.
So I think he probably just overlooked that when he was doing his billboards, just missed it. It was just one.
Okay.
This is funny.
I
like it. I
gotta talk about this. Like, listen, this is filthy, and I mean that in a good way. This is a dirty, filthy bunker. I'm like looking
slap
at
it in
this
the
one.
ass.
Oh my god, this is a
You
just a
filthy bunker, you.
this bunker is dirty. Like I can see this from the distance, and I was like hitting my ball up here, going, the last thing I want to do is hit my ball into this bunker. It is filthy.
I don't want to put my balls in there.
And then I got closer, so go forward,
Uh,
and it's dirty in a good way. I mean this really. This is all positive. I'm not like don't take this negatively. This is
this
this
looks
is
like
like
the
a
bunkers around where I live. That
this is
haven't been
like
tended to. You hit your ball in there and you got to rake it out and then put your ball back because it's just like nasty.
dude, was this like an $8 a round course? Like there's you got to gravel inside that bunker, and it's just filthy.
This is his
I
thing though.
love
He
it.
like that's the really short 3DG grass that he does
I
a
know.
lot,
I
which
love
gives
it.
it that look. It's brilliant.
I love it. It's brilliant, and nobody else does it. It's kind of his signature move.
Yeah.
And it gives a very, very unique look. And I'm using terms like dirty and filthy because it actually does. It looks like it's full of little pebbles. The
Nasty
last thing I
bunker.
want
You
is
nasty
it's just
bunker.
nasty. It's just a nasty bunker. And then you get even closer, and like you can see my ball in there. And this is where he does that 3DG. So
Love it. It's great.
it's great. It's a great effect, and it's kind of his signature move. I think one of his signature, that and car paths.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, you don't see you can tell it's 3G, but from any other angle, you can't really tell what
You
it
can't.
is.
It looks like
Yeah.
rocks. It looks like little
It
pebbles.
looks like
in there.
rocks. This is good. What is that?
I did find this, and I was like,
It looks like a painter's palette, that they have their.
I exited. It's not on the course. It's actually on the driving range. I think it's driving range. I exited the course to see if he had set. I don't remember if this is a V3 or V4 course. It might be V3. But I looked to see if he had set a head to range to go hit in the driving range, and he did not. And so I don't know what it was. Tell us. Let us know. Post in the comments. What were you doing?
Yes,
I'm just curious.
Let us know. Were you experimenting? Vertex. He was Vertex. Oh, this isn't. Is this V4? I can't remember now.
I don't know. I don't remember if it was V3 or V4, and you can't tell from the screenshot. I don't think.
Yeah, we should be able to tell if there's a blend. I don't know. No, it's not V4.
No, it's not V4. Yeah, it's V3. Yeah.
So, I don't know what he was doing there.
I don't know. I'm curious.
And then Easter.
Okay,
Sheringham.
listen. I gotta say one thing on this. I love the fact that it's the 75th
The what?
course.
Yeah.
Everybody's going. So
Top 10,
simply
top 20. No,
me,
I'm 75.
simply me 80. First off, we gotta simple your name down a little bit because I'm not gonna say simply me 80 every time. So simple, whatever. Everybody's going for the number one course. I want the number one course, the number one, the number one, the number one, the top 10, the top 5. He's like, I'm going for the 75th.
We're good.
There's 74 courses better than me, but I don't want to fuck with them. I just want to do the 75th course.
I also what goes really well with that though is the screenshot here, the splash screen, which is just Sheringham. I wish if you could only make this better, be Sheringham, and underneath it just put number 75.
This is what I would do. Like, this is my home course, right? And I'm like,
Wait,
I want
this
to
is
make,
your
I want to
home
make.
course?
No. If it was my home course, like I
Yes,
want to
yes,
make
yes,
my home
okay.
course, okay? So I want to make my home course appealing. So I go out and look, and I'm like talking it up. Like, this is a marketer that's failed miserably. 75th in the list.
Every year sees us working hard to enhance members and visitors' enjoyment. We're working on it. Next year we hope to be 74.
Their mission statement is next year we hope to be 74.
So I was in a fraternity in college, and we were really bad at intramural sports. So I went to Penn State, and intramural, like interfraternity sports, was really big.
Yep.
We were really bad at intramural sports. Our T-shirts for the next year that we came out with was, "We're gonna suck less this year."
I love that. I love that. By the way, this course doesn't suck. I just want to say I just love the description, like ranked 75th.
We're just here for the lulls, right? We're just here for the laughs. Come on. Anywho, let's go on to Sheringham, Easter Sunday, Sheringham.
V3 course, no advanced lighting. I like that. I like the colors. I want to like the colors. Remember it that way. I think the fairways are a little too green for the brown. Like, if you're going to go with the brown burned out area, which I do like, I think that brown area looks really great, especially with the cart path. I think the fairways are a little bit the wrong hue. I think they're a little too green personally. Overall, though, it plays fine. Performance is just through the roof. I think there's 17 trees on this whole course and a bunch of billboarded ones. So performance is through the roof, but we did find some really unique stuff, and I think we have some maybe honorary awards.
And I do. If you're on the fence about playing, let me just tell you that this is it is a fun course as far as the layout goes. There's some really cool elevations. There's some really cool shots. It's it's a link style course, and there's some ocean holes on it as well. So it is pretty fun course. It is a fun course.
It is a fun course. I had a blast playing it. Okay, award number 1. Okay, we have a new segment here.
It's perfect for Easter.
This is the where's my ball? Kind of like where's Waldo? I'm gonna give an honorary award to this course for the longest 3DG in the history of any course in GSpro. Okay. He obviously listened to our show and listened to Masta and I talk about making it longer doesn't hurt performance. As long as
well, shit.
That is my ball. The red circle is my ball off the first tee, and you can't barely even see it because the 3DG is so long. I'm not laughing because it's bad. I actually love it. I think it's so good. I just am laughing because I haven't seen it like this before, like implemented like this.
Hey,
so it's really cool.
They're cutting course. They're cutting cutting budget, and they just can only mow twice a week now.
Buy a mower, dude. Do something.
There's another shot of your ball.
And then here's another shot in the rough.
Gone.
Okay,
gone.
I want you. This is not me flying around looking. This is me looking at my ball. Where is it? Where is my ball?
Now, did this at least play like deep rough?
I think it played like deep rough.
Oh, okay. Then.
So I did think it played like deep rough.
Then
yeah.
It's all good, right? It's all good.
He has the longest 3DG.
The worst thing is if it's like this and it plays fairway.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was great. It's really thick. It was really long. It played great. It couldn't find my ball, but who cares? I just swung, and sure enough, the ball popped out. So, um,
Oh, the nauseous ocean.
yeah. What do I say? I love what you did, but I would love you to tweak it, please, because I
I
felt like I was.
I
Go
think
ahead.
what he did here is he used I think the default shader for ocean where he should have probably bought Lux.
Maybe. Yeah. Um, all I know is I felt like I was looking. I had to. If I looked at this too long, my eyes went cross-eyed.
Yeah, I said earlier in the pre-show, it's like looking at one of those 3D posters. Remember back when we were
Yes.
growing up, you get three and you had to stare at it and do your cross-eyed, then you'd see like a face looking at you for like a split
19,
second, and then you'd make you nauseous, and you're like, nah, stop.
1984 called. What's this? What's this 3D print back?
Spencer's called.
Yeah,
Remember Spencer's?
Spencers. Oh my God, they're not around anymore. Any are
Oh,
they?
they're still around. I think they're still around.
No way. All right, I'm
Yes.
going to Chat GPT. Is Spencer still around? No, listen. I'm giving you a hard time. It looked fine. It was great. It's not. You don't
Yeah.
really run
But
into it. It's off
no,
to the
but
side.
I would say if you're doing an ocean course though, you have to buy Lux.
You have to buy Lux. You
Yeah,
need
and
Lux
I think
for
it's like
ocean.
Lux isn't like it's in like $10. It's so cheap.
It's cheap. If
Yeah.
not, get it on one of the Unity sales, and it's
Yeah.
cheap.
When I'm doing Kapalua, I was like first thing, oh, I gotta get Lux. Now I'm doing
You got to get
Kapalua.
Lux.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. I do love the custom T
Yeah.
markers.
Well done there.
Well
Nice. I
done
like the
there.
logo.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I like the logo. I went in close. It says Sheringham on it. I do love. Thank you for being consistent. I love that
What's
this T
SI?
marker is sitting in 7.5 feet of rough, but that's cool.
You know, weed whacker. Get the weed whacker out.
You can see how
Clear that
deep
out.
it is in the back too. You see the back of how deep those weeds are back there. It may be like that in real life, for honest. I've never
Yeah.
golfed in the
What's
UK, so
SI? The whole for SI12. What is SI? Sports
that's a good
Illustrated?
question. The 12th model?
I don't know. It's SI. I don't. Yeah.
Who's the 12th hottest? Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
So we did our
Oh,
feature request of the week. So we have two. One which
yeah,
is one I just came up with. So my home course, I have a couple holes on my home course when I play my league that run along a road.
yeah,
And it never fails any given week when I'm golfing, I'm
yeah.
teeing off, that somebody comes driving up the road with their windows down and they're playing loud music, or it's a Harley Davidson just ripping down the road,
Yep,
or
yep.
some
Music.
jackass going and he sees us playing and decides to beep his horn, right?
Yep, yep.
So I think there should be a feature within GSpro that you can enable to play really loud random sounds while you're golfing to help you mentally prepare for situations like that, like an air horn, a car,
A motorcycle. Yep.
or even a Harley going by. Even tell you what, if GS Pro wants to enhance this, you can even pick which sounds randomly play, like throughout that. So I think that is really the feature request that we should have.
It only goes in your backswing.
So we got some AI machine learning that knows when you're in your back. So you have to have some cameras, the Unicore cameras. You
Yep,
know, you know.
yep, yep. Agreed. I listen. My home course, it's on GS Pro Common Ground, and I cannot tell you every time that I play, somebody is driving a super loud motorcycle or a super loud car, and it's hauling ass when you're. I agree. I think this would be awesome. I think it's
Yeah,
a great feature request,
it's
and sadly missing.
I'm like 50% serious and 50% joking, honestly, because it could really
You
help
think
me.
you think T-Tree and these guys are actually watching this and saying, "Oh, that's a great feature," or they're like, "You guys are a bunch of idiots. We're not doing that."
I think no, they're not watching, but yes, if they did, they think we're idiots. So yes,
Okay, I'm gonna bring a feature request in. I don't have a fancy slide like you.
okay.
This is actually not my request. I'm going to bring a request forward from Paul G.
Oh yeah, he did.
And
Yes.
yeah, he mentioned this to me in I can't remember if he was in DM or if it was in the YouTube chat, and then he brought it up again in our Discord chat. And I actually
This is
love
a
this
serious
feature.
one. This is a good one.
Yeah, I think this is a good feature. Like, instead of having sim drop, what he suggests is unplayable lie. Because sim drop, as you know, you have a circle and you then drop
Yeah.
outside of that circle anywhere you can go.
Yep.
And I actually agree. I think, like, listen, if you hit a ball into the rough and it falls through the mesh, it's an unplayable lie. You just go back on your line, and once you get back beyond the hazard, you're 2 club lengths into your thing. And you should eliminate sim job altogether and just have unplayable lie. And you go back on the line of your shot. And if it means you go back to the tee box, you go back to the tee box. Like, that's a great feature, right? And it would remove sim drop altogether.
Yeah. Or have the option to remove or have sim drop as like mulligan. You can disable mulligans. You know,
Yeah, and use
say,
sim
hey, I
drop
want to
instead.
enable sim drop, or I just want to
Yeah.
disable sim drop. Yeah.
But like in everything else golf related, you have unplayable lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just take your penalty, drop your ball back on your line, and then you're good.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
I
I
like
agree.
that. I saw that he had that out. Yep.
Good
Absolutely.
feature, Paul.
So,
All right.
must play of the week. The MPAL. MPAL. So remember, we get badges now with MPAL. So if you're the MPAL,
MPAL get
you do get
badges.
a
Yep.
badge.
Yep.
So who do you want to go with?
I'm going Quail Hollow.
Okay.
It's good.
Yep,
That's it. It's really good.
I agree. Yep.
No,
So we
no,
have a
no,
unanimous MPAL this week.
and unanimous. We didn't last week. We split last week. This week, unanimous. No, no knock on any other course,
No,
but
there was the other. What was the other one? Shoot, I drank too much. There was another one I thought. The one with the really good sat shader. My God.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, the green one. I loved it.
Yes.
That was a close. I was close between the two, but I thought the added detail in. Thank you. Go back to the top, and we'll get the name of that course. It was not Harry
No.
L. Jones Sr. It was that one.
No,
Nope,
that's Quail
that's
Hollow.
Quail. That one right there.
Yeah, it's Harry Jones.
Hey, it's Harry L. Jones. Yep.
Yep.
By the way, Harry L. Jones is a squirrely fucker because ChatGPT can't find anything on Harry L.
I knew
Jones
it.
Sr.
Chat GPT can't solve all our world problems,
It
especially when it
says
comes
that
to
it
Harry Jones.
appears to be the name that belongs to multiple people and entities, such as a golf course in Charlotte, North Carolina, and a president CEO of Harry Jones Consulting LLC. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any more information about Harry L. Jones Sr. himself.
Wow.
So Harry L. Jones is like
He was off the grid.
he's off. He's he's got like a bomb shelter he lives in. He's got 55-gallon drums of like manna he eats for.
Yeah. So we could close out. Like, what's your time like? I know you have to the split here soon, right?
I'm good for a few more minutes. I'm to go
Okay.
get the kid.
So maybe we bring up really. So this week we alluded to it earlier that a lot of the TPC courses were removed from GSpro.
Yes. 5 or 6. I mean, not a lot, but
yes. I mean,
yeah.
pretty much anything. Now,
Everything
there's
TPC
so
named.
much. Yeah, there's been so much chit chat on why did this happen. PGA is so they're greedy, right? And I'm not going to disagree that the PGA is greedy. But I have my own take on why this happened, right?
Sure.
My
I have
take
my take
is
too.
that I think this has a lot. And again, this is my take. There's no facts to what I'm talking about here.
Yep.
My take is it is coming from someone who has actually licensed those names, who has paid to license those names.
Yep.
There are a couple of games coming out for like the popular gaming platforms. There are companies like, I'm not saying it was TrackMan, and we know that TrackMan and GSpro have this thing going on right now.
Yep.
But I don't think PGA, and I know they are money hungry, I don't think it's them and themselves. I think someone else who has paid to license these things in some capacity went to PGA and said, what the fuck? Here's this company. Did they pay for this licensing? I'm paying for licensing. Why aren't they? And PGA said, okay. you know, and
Yep.
I think they had to, so they wrote a letter to GSpro, and GSpro had to essentially pull them. Again, that's just my theory. I've got no basis or evidence for that, but that is my theory.
I'm gonna nuance. I agree. I'm gonna nuance your theory just a bit with my own nuance. I'm not an attorney in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so this is again my own feeling.
But you do
Um,
play one on TV on Friday
I
nights
do
on
play one
between
on
two biomes.
TV when I'm
Yes,
asked to. Exactly. Is since those were trademarked TPC trademarked courses, right? They have the TPC trademark. My understanding of trademark law from friends that are attorneys is the company that owns the trademark has an obligation to defend that trademark at all times. Otherwise, it opens the door to losing that trademark.
very good point. Yes, you're
Okay.
right.
So if they had not tried defended that and say we didn't authorize you to use those trademarks, somebody else could come back and say you didn't defend it here, which means you're not serious about those trademarks. So you
Yes,
shouldn't own those trademarks.
that's
I
a
think
very
they
good
had a
point as well.
legal obligation to have to do that, is my guess. That's all I have.
Yep. Oh, I would totally agree because there is it goes back to, do you know the whole Band-Aid thing? Everyone refers
Uh,
to, like, you know what a Band-Aid is, right?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Put a
yeah,
Band-Aid on a cut, right? You know,
yeah, yeah,
Band-Aid is a trademarked thing from Johnson and Johnson.
yeah, yeah.
And if you let something go to the point that it becomes common term,
Kleenex and tissue.
exactly,
Yep.
you can actually
You
lose in
lose
a
the
court of
trademark.
law. You go to defend that. So if you don't defend that, so you had a very good point. If you don't defend the 17th island, if you don't defend the 17th island green, and that becomes
Anybody else?
common, oh, if everyone starts calling like an island
Yep.
green the 17th, wherever they go, they lose that privilege, right?
Yep. So
And
my question is, because I have one of those courses. I did TPC Colorado, which is one of
yes,
the courses that were removed.
I was going to bring that
Um,
up. Yeah.
what I have done, but I haven't released yet, is remove all reference to TPC. And I haven't decided what I'm going to call the course yet, right? My question is, can I resubmit with nothing relating to TPC? So I'm not infringing in any way, shape, or form because I don't want to on any of their trademarks because I don't think you can trademark an image of a course, right? A likeness of a
Correct.
course. So that's my
Yeah.
like the clubhouse doesn't look the same and anything like that. So my question is like if I were to rename it and then submit it as, the Colorado Golf Club, would that be fine? That's my hope.
Yeah. I assume you're having discussions with people about that.
No,
No.
no discussions with anybody about that.
Oh,
So I've done the work, but we've gotten no guidance from anybody on and I don't know if they are allowed to give guidance. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I
I would
haven't even
think
been
GS
told,
Pro just wants to stay the health out of it.
I guess. Yeah. So my guess is I resubmit with all things TPC removed because I don't want to infringe on trademarks. And then if they have an issue, then they can, if they really, really, really want it down, we'll yank it down.
Yeah. I think any
So
TPC courses, as designers, we should come up with a new naming nomenclature for them. Not TPC, but obviously call it something else that
yeah,
is,
yeah, yep.
very far from that, but something that links them all together with a commonality that people can at least search for XYZ, right?
Yeah, and I think I could be wrong, but I think like there's only a handful of courses that have the likeness of the course actually trademarked. There are
Yeah.
a couple that have that.
Sawgrass, I thought was one.
Sawgrass, I guess Pebble maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
It has me
so
rethinking when I finish Kapalua and publish it, what I'm going to call it.
yeah, same. Like, do you really want to call it the name of the course if you think that the course, like, I'm lucky. One course I'm doing right now, the course owner, it's a local private country club. The course owner is the one who's asked for it, and he's like, "I'm all in. I love it being on
Yeah.
GS Pro." But
Yeah, and
some of
that's
these
I
big
just yeah,
names,
and that's the sad thing here is like you said earlier, what you said I think makes more sense than what I said, honestly. Which is they have to defend their
They have to
trademark.
defend their trademarks, is my
Yeah.
guess.
And like so I'm doing Hershey. I know that Hershey Country Club is on board with what I'm doing. I've been talking to a couple people there.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Good, good, good.
yeah. I actually know people that work there, and this is great.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
so yeah, it's tough. I don't know what.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I know you got to go.
I have
So
I have 4 minutes to get my kid before they start charging me $10 a minute before I pick him up. So unless I want to then cook a bill for running long,
just put it in the B2B slush fund.
we'll put it in the B2B slush fund exactly because we've got a huge one of those. Hey, welcome back to Friday nights.
Oh, thank God, right?
Great
Hopefully,
to see
like
you, my
I have a
friend.
feeling the summer is going to be like this until we get
Yeah.
like because you and I are going to golf. Our weekends get full, so
Yep.
and everyone has to understand this is our fourth, fifth priority
It's
priority in
coming
our
up. It's going
lives.
up. It's going up. It's going up. We're
Yes,
we might make it fourth.
yes, might make it the fourth. Right. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a great
Cheers.
weekend. Bye,
Cheers, Mashy.
everybody.
Have a good night.
Cheers. Cheers, Masta.
All right. Good night.